Defying Gravity from the musical Wicked. Make sure you listen to the set work before watching this full video. The YouTube videos with the score are best, and the link for this is provided below this particular video. Make sure that you do the same after you've watched this video and that you go through the mind map yourself. The links are also provided below. Melody. The melody starts in a conjunct or stepwise manner. Bars 6 and 7 show an ascending sequence. The verse and chorus combine conjunct and wide angular leaps in the melodic line. Leaps often feature a rising perfect fifth, for example, bar 34. There are some exceptionally large leaps, such as a compound perfect fourth, that means an octave plus a perfect fourth, for example, bars 39 to 40, and a compound perfect fifth, for example, bars 140 to 141. Rhythm and meter, there are tempo changes. Now, regarding the structure of the tempo changes, there are numerous tempo changes throughout this song, and they are important to the overall structure. Bar 1 is free tempo, bar 20 andante, bar 49 allegro, bar 88 moderato, bar 103 allegro, bar 111 andante, bar 129 allegro, 162 andante, and 168 maestoso. So free, slow, fast, slow, fast, slow, fast, slow, and then majestic at the end. Rallentandos. There are rallentandos used particularly at the end of sections to go from allegro to andante. Sometimes there are rallentandos followed by an a tempo, which means back to the original speed. There is also a rallentando used at the end of the piece. Meter. The time signature changes from 3 to triple time to 2 to duple time in the opening section and remains there until bar 88, where it changes to 4/4 quadruple time, and at bar 115 it returns to 2/2 duple time. Rhythms. Syncopation is frequent throughout, for example, bars 67 to 70. Dotted rhythms are used throughout, for example, in bar 82 on the word gravity. Triplets are used. These are both quaver triplets, for example, bar 96, and crotchet triplets, for example, bar 60. But just off the top of my head, my memory is that they're not very common, but they are there. And when they are distinctly different from the rhythms that have preceded them. Rhythms are predominantly crotchet and quaver based, although there are some notes of longer duration, particularly at the ends of phrases. Rests and pauses. Rests are often used to break up phrases. Each phrase starts with an offbeat entry after a crotchet rest, for example, bar 15. Pause marks or fermatas are used to lengthen and give freedom to longer rhythms, for example, at the end, for example, bars 174 and 176. Dynamics. Well, there's nothing specific written about this here, but look at the score and find out for yourselves. Context, I'm not going to read this here, but look up the information about the composer, Stephen Schwartz, Defying Gravity, and then there's a bit about musical theatre as well. Articulation, nothing specific written about it. Texture. The opening shows a sparse texture with punctuating instrumental chord stabs, for example in bar 1, with some monophonic unaccompanied bars, for example bar 3. In the verses there is a melody and accompaniment or melody-dominated homophony texture, where the singer is accompanied by chords in the orchestra. There are homophonic chordal moments, for example, bar 132. Ostinato accompaniment is bar 88 with repeated semiquavers. Don't forget to look at this and listen to it. Elphaba and Glinda usually sing separately but sometimes sing together in unison, example bar 101, or in harmony such as thirds, example bar 127. And if I may add, that very much is linked with the word painting. Think about what they are saying to each other and the mood in which they are saying to each other, and then how they join or not, as the case may be. The ending is contrapuntal with 3 different musical ideas with different lyrics. Example bar 168. Structure, well, we've talked about this a little already, certainly in relation to tempo. There is a distinct verse-chorus form. Verse bar 34, bar 63, bar 135, and chorus bar 50, bar 79, bar 103, and bar 151. Within that structure, this piece has multiple sections which are defined by tempo, I've already said that, contrasting moods, and melodic material. Let's have a quick look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are more details there. There's a huge amount of detail there which you can look up yourselves. Harmony. Chords are in root position. Da, da, da. Not first inversion, da, 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 or second inversion, da, da, da. So chords are in root position. Chord progressions are often unrelated, whatever that means. And in the opening we can see shifts downwards in parallel semitones. Yes. So the key is unstable. For example, a D chord to a C sharp minor chord to a C major chord. There is some use of dissonance, example bar 30, and at the end there is a pedal at bar 168. Instrumentation. Well, there's a duet with the singers. Defying Gravity is a duet for the characters Elphaba and Glinda with some spoken dialogue in addition to the singing. The 2 characters either deliver their text spoken, half sung spoken, with music notated on the stave with crosses instead of note heads, or it is entirely sung. And of course this has a lot to do with the dramatic progression of the song. Orchestra. We'll move this up. This musical uses a large orchestra, so there's a woodwind section including additional instruments such as piccolo, bass, clarinet and cor anglais. Brass and string sections with a harp and 3 keyboards. It includes a wide variety of percussion instruments, drum kits, tubular bells and timpani. Electric guitars create a modern sound, and in this song they are required with overdrive, a distortion effect. Overdrive is a kind of distortion, audio signal processing used to alter the sound of amplified electrical musical instruments, usually by increasing their gain. That means the amount of power going into the sound, I think, producing a fuzzy, growling or gritty tone. The score in the anthology is a short score of orchestral reduction, and the main instruments with solos are labelled. The orchestra is used to good dramatic effect. Range. These 2 singers require extremely versatile voices with a large range of just under 2 octaves, from G below middle C to F up there. Tonality. Overall the key is D major. Oh, there's a lot there. In the opening the tonality is ambiguous with chromatic movement and unrelated chord progressions. Then This is B major for 2 bars before arriving in F major. Then it arrives in the tonic key of D major for the verse and remains there until it moves to G major. It returns to D. It returns to the chromatic melody of the opening. Then it returns to D. And then the final maestoso section, it's in B minor until we finish on a chord of D major. So it's moving around all the time, and that obviously fits the drama word setting or word painting. The text is syllabic throughout, with rhythms moving in a speech-like manner. There is vocalization at the end in bar 175 to the word R. Don't forget, listen to the set work again and follow the score, and then look at this mind map. All the links are below.